The ocean looks harmless from the surface. Sunlight dances on gentle waves, ships glide across it, and beaches give the illusion that the sea is something familiar, friendly, and mostly understood. But this calm surface is one of the greatest lies nature has ever told. Beneath that thin layer of light exists a vertical world so extreme, so alien, that it feels less like Earth and more like another planet entirely. As you descend deeper and deeper, the rules of life begin to change. Pressure becomes crushing, light disappears completely, temperatures drop toward freezing, and food becomes painfully scarce. And yet, life not only survives here, it adapts in ways so strange, so unsettling, that the deeper you go, the more horrifying those creatures appear to human eyes. This is not because they are evil or monstrous, but because they are perfectly shaped by an environment that humans were never meant to see. To understand why deep-sea creatures get creepier with depth, you must first understand how quickly the ocean becomes hostile to surface life. Within the first few hundred meters, sunlight begins to fade. Colors disappear one by one, red vanishing first, then orange and yellow, until the world turns blue and gray. Plants can no longer photosynthesize, meaning the entire foundation of most food chains collapses. Beyond this point, almost every living thing exists in a state of constant hunger. Food does not grow here. It falls from above like cosmic debris, dead plankton, fish waste, sinking carcasses, what scientists grimly call marine snow. In this darkness, survival is no longer about beauty or speed. It is about efficiency, patience, and taking any opportunity that appears, no matter how rare or grotesque it may seem. As light vanishes completely, vision becomes unreliable, and many deep-sea animals abandon it altogether. Eyes either grow enormous, stretching unnaturally large to capture the faintest hint of bioluminescence, or they shrink into near uselessness. In their place, other senses evolve to terrifying extremes. Some fish develop lateral lines so sensitive they can detect the movement of a single thin stroke meters away. Others rely on chemical detection, tasting the water for the slightest trace of prey or decay. To human observers, these adaptations look unnatural, even disturbing, because they exaggerate features we associate with fear. Massive eyes staring into nothingness, elongated jaws frozen open, bodies twisted into shapes that defy surface logic. But in the deep sea, these are not horrors, they are solutions. Pressure is another invisible force that reshapes life into nightmarish forms. For every 10 meters you descend, pressure increases by 1 atmosphere. By the time you reach the deepest trenches, the pressure is strong enough to crush submarines like soda cans. Air-filled spaces become liabilities, which is why deep-sea creatures rarely have swim bladders. Instead, their bodies are gelatinous, soft, and loosely structured, allowing pressure to pass through them rather than destroy them. To human eyes, these translucent, boneless forms look like living ghosts or failed experiments, but softness is strength in a world that would pulverize anything rigid. What appears creepy to us is simply physics made flesh. Perhaps the most unsettling transformation happens to mouths and teeth. In a place where meals are unpredictable and rare, the ability to capture and consume anything becomes vital. This is why so many deep-sea creatures have enormous jaws lined with needle-like teeth that curve inward. These teeth are not meant for chewing, they are traps. Once prey enters, escape becomes almost impossible. Some fish can swallow animals larger than themselves, their stomachs expanding like balloons in the darkness. To humans, these gaping mouths resemble something from nightmares, but in the deep sea, missing a meal can mean starving for months. Evolution favors excess, not elegance. Bioluminescence adds another layer of eerie beauty and terror to the deep ocean. In total darkness, producing light becomes a powerful tool. Some creatures use it to communicate, others to confuse predators, and many to hunt. The infamous anglerfish dangles a glowing lure in front of its face, mimicking prey to attract victims close enough to swallow whole. Jellyfish pulse with electric blues and purples, lighting up like living alarms. Squid flash patterns of light across their skin, sending silent messages through the black water. To human minds trained to associate light with safety, these glowing organisms feel deeply unsettling, like signals meant for something we cannot see. Yet here, light is language, weapon, and disguise all at once. As depth increases, energy becomes so scarce that even movement is expensive. Many deep-sea creatures drift slowly, conserving every ounce of strength. Their metabolism is sluggish, their reactions delayed, their lives stretched across long spans of waiting. This slowness contributes to their haunting presence. A creature that barely moves, hovering silently in the dark, feels far more threatening than one that darts away. Some fish remain almost perfectly still for hours or days, waiting for prey to wander into range. In this world, patience is predation, and stillness is survival. Reproduction in the deep sea adds another unsettling chapter to this story. Finding a mate in near total darkness across vast distances is incredibly difficult. Some species solve this problem in ways that challenge human comfort. The male anglerfish, tiny compared to the female, bites into her body and fuses with her flesh, eventually becoming nothing more than a living reproductive organ. From a human perspective, this seems horrifying, parasitic, and grotesque. From an evolutionary standpoint, it is brilliant. In a place where encounters are rare, permanence ensures survival of the species. Love, in the deep sea, is not romantic, it is biological necessity taken to extremes. Gigantism is another reason deep-sea animals appear so strange. In some regions, creatures grow far larger than their shallow water relatives. Giant squid, colossal jellyfish, and massive isopods roam the depths like relics from another age. Scientists believe this may be linked to slow metabolism, low temperatures, and the ability to store energy over long periods. To humans, these enormous forms trigger primal fear. Size combined with darkness taps into ancient instincts, reminding us that we are small, fragile beings far from the top of the food chain in this environment. Human psychology plays a powerful role in why we label these creatures as creepy. Our brains evolved on land, under sunlight, surrounded by familiar shapes and predictable threats. The deep sea violates all of those expectations. There is no horizon, no up or down, no sound the way we understand it. Faces look wrong, movements feel unnatural, and proportions defy logic. When we see a fish with transparent skin, visible organs, and glowing eyes, our brain struggles to categorize it, and that uncertainty turns into fear. The creepiness is not in the creature itself, but in the gap between our world and theirs. Technology has only recently allowed us to glimpse this hidden realm, and every expedition reveals new forms that challenge our understanding of life. Cameras capture animals that seem half-formed, like living shadows, dissolving into darkness when disturbed. Some creatures appear and disappear so quickly that scientists debate whether they were ever truly seen. The deep sea remains the largest unexplored habitat on Earth, and with that mystery comes unease. We fear what we do not understand, and the deep ocean offers an endless supply of the unknown. Despite their terrifying appearance, deep-sea creatures are not monsters. They are masterpieces of adaptation, shaped by millions of years of pressure, darkness, and scarcity. Every oversized eye, every glowing organ, every terrifying tooth serves a purpose. They remind us that nature does not evolve for beauty or comfort, it evolves for survival. The deeper you go, the more extreme the conditions become, and the more extreme life must be to endure them. In the end, the deep sea holds up a dark mirror to humanity. It shows us how fragile our idea of normal really is. What we call creepy is simply life thriving under rules we were never meant to follow. These creatures are not warnings or horrors, they are evidence of nature's endless creativity. And as long as the deep ocean remains mostly unexplored, it will continue to produce forms that disturb, fascinate, and humble us. The deeper you go, the creepier it gets. Not because life becomes worse, but because it becomes something entirely beyond us.